Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to jump into today's explainer all about the 12 signs of the Zodiac. We're going to unpack some seriously fascinating insights into how celestial bodies might actually influence our personalities, our strengths, and, our deepest challenges too. We'll be breaking down this entire cosmic wheel piece by piece, looking at the ruling planets and those really unique traits that define all 12 signs. Let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. To really get the most out of this, I want you to try what I call the mirror technique. What does that mean? Well, as we bring up the data for each sign, I want you to actively look for yourself in these descriptions. Look for your friends, your family, your coworkers. Keep this question in the back of your mind. Is your life path genuinely shaped by the planets?
Chapter 1 covers the spring signs, focusing on boldness, stability, and versatility.
Kicking off the astrological new year in late March, we have fiery Aries, which flows right into grounded Taurus, and then rounds out the spring season with the airy energy of Gemini. Take a quick mental note if your birthday or a loved one's birthday falls in this window, because this is where the fun really begins.
Now, what's really interesting here is that these aren't just random pairings. These planets and symbols are literally the cosmic engines behind these personalities. You've got Aries charging ahead as the ram, fueled by Mars. Then Taurus is grounded by the bull and ruled by Venus. And finally, Gemini brings that twin energy governed by Mercury.
Take Venus, for instance. As the planet of love and beauty, it perfectly explains exactly why Taurus individuals have such a deep appreciation for the finer things in life. I mean, yes, they're highly practical, for sure, but they absolutely require a beautiful, secure environment to truly thrive.
And look at the duality of our first sign, Aries. They are all about sheer boldness and passion. We're talking fearless leaders who just charge ahead. But, and this is a huge but, that exact same fiery energy makes them notoriously impulsive. Their greatest strength as a trailblazer can so easily trigger a major temperamental outburst. Moving down the line, we hit a pretty rapid contrast. Taurus brings incredible stability and a totally fantastic work ethic to the table. But, that determination can quickly tip over into stubbornness. I mean, good luck trying to get a Taurus to change their routine. Then there's Gemini. Blessed with that quick-witted Mercury energy, they are brilliant conversationalists. However, having that rapid-fire brain makes them notoriously indecisive and intensely restless. Try asking a Gemini to pick a restaurant for dinner, and you'll see exactly what I mean.
Moving on to Chapter 2, we're looking at the summer signs: emotion, vitality, and intellect.
Right in the peak of the year, we dive into the deeply emotional Cancer, followed by the vibrant sun-soaked Leo, and capping off the summer with analytical Virgo. So again, scan your mental calendar. Let's see if your summer-born friends align with this data. And this brilliantly illustrates a massive shift in planetary energy. The celestial rulers take a really dramatic turn here. Cancer answers to the intuitive moon, Leo is fueled by the vital sun, and Virgo is governed by Mercury, the planet of intellect and communication.
The moon is such a fascinating ruler. It represents our raw, unfiltered emotions and our deepest intuition. And because Cancer is ruled by the moon, people born under this sign are just deeply sensitive, nurturing individuals. They place massive value on family, and this lunar influence gives them an incredible capacity for empathy and some seriously protective instincts over the people they love.
But just like the phases of the moon, that lunar depth brings some intense duality. Cancer's protective empathy comes with a real susceptibility to severe mood swings, which often causes them to completely retreat into their shells when they get overwhelmed. Now, flip the switch to Leo. Ruled by the sun, Leos absolutely thrive in the spotlight. They radiate charisma, creativity, and warmth. But that intense need to be admired can sometimes cross the line into arrogance, making them fiercely demanding of attention.
Then you've got Virgo's relentless pursuit of perfection. They are blessed with unmatched attention to detail and a brilliant knack for problem solving. Think color-coded spreadsheets for a quick weekend getaway. Yet this exact same drive can actually become their biggest hurdle, turning them overly critical. And not just of those around them, but paralyzingly critical of themselves.
Chapter 3 brings us to the autumn signs, focusing on harmony, transformation, and expansion.
As the leaves change, so does our zodiac wheel. We step right into Libra's domain, push through the deep waters of Scorpio, and then finish the autumn season with the fiery energy of Sagittarius. There is such a fascinating contrast and power happening here.
We bounce from Libra's Venus, which is focused heavily on harmony and love, straight into Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, the intense planet of transformation and regeneration. And then a complete pivot to Sagittarius, governed by Jupiter, the planet of pure expansion and wild optimism.
Let's see how that actually plays out. Libras are defined by diplomacy, charm, and this really powerful sense of justice, but their deep desire for peace means they can become agonizingly indecisive, and they'll often avoid necessary confrontations literally at all costs. Meanwhile, Scorpio possesses a fierce loyalty and a really deep understanding of human psychology, but that intense protective nature can quickly warp into being highly secretive and frankly exceptionally possessive.
So the crucial point is, how do we handle Jupiter's massive energy? Well, just look at Sagittarius. They crave truth, adventure, and just pure freedom. But that exact same straightforward honesty means they can sometimes be brutally tactless and deeply restless the absolute second they feel tied down.
Finally, Chapter 4 covers the winter signs: discipline, innovation, and dreams.
Rounding out the cosmic wheel, we march through the disciplined winter of Capricorn, hit the innovative heights of Aquarius, and then wash ashore with dreamy Pisces in late winter.
Let's move to the end of the calendar and see how this builds, because look at the heavy-hitting planetary rulers closing out the year. We have Capricorn anchored by Saturn, the ultimate taskmaster of discipline and responsibility. Then Aquarius is fueled by Uranus, the planet of sudden change and innovation. And Pisces is swimming with Neptune, the ethereal planet of dreams and illusions.
This creates a wildly fascinating juxtaposition. Capricorn brings immense ambition and really strong leadership skills. They're practical, reliable, and deeply loyal. But Saturn's heavy discipline means they can be overly cautious and sometimes completely rigid in their thinking. Now contrast that with Aquarius. Aquarius is all about progressive thinking and humanitarian values. They literally want to radically improve the world. But because they are so ahead of their time, they can come across as highly eccentric, unpredictable, and sometimes a bit emotionally detached. And finally, we arrive at Pisces. Guided by Neptune, individuals born under this sign possess a breathtakingly deep connection to the subconscious mind. They're immensely empathetic, highly intuitive, and gifted with wonderful artistic talents. They're selfless, compassionate, and drawn heavily towards spirituality. But, this beautiful, porous boundary with reality leaves them dangerously vulnerable. When the real world becomes just a bit too harsh, their biggest shadow emerges: a strong tendency toward extreme escapism and a kind of blinding idealism.
So what does this all mean? As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to look back into that mirror we talked about. We've seen how every single sign carries a brilliant light, but also a daunting shadow. The real question is, are these planetary blueprints our ultimate destiny, or are they simply the raw materials we're given to build our own lives? Understanding the zodiac doesn't have to put us in a box. Maybe it just gives us the key to break right out of it. Thanks so much for joining me on this cosmic journey.